Welcome to episode 30 of Leaders of Enchantment podcast, where today we are joined by Colby Wilson, the dedicated leader of the Boys and Girls Club of Central New Mexico. Colby has been at the forefront of creating safe spaces and opportunities for young people across our community, ensuring that every child has the chance to reach their full potential. From championing education and leadership development to building programs that empower the next generation, Colby's work is making a lasting impact here in New Mexico. We're excited to dive into his story, his vision, and the incredible work being done at the Boys and Girls Club. Please welcome Colby Wilson. Colby Wilson, welcome.
Doug Campbell.
Welcome to Leaders of Enchantment podcast.
Thank you.
Who are you and what do you do?
I am the CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central New Mexico. I'd like to spin that title as a Chief Encouragement Officer.
I saw that. Is that a you thing or is that a Boys and Girls Club thing?
Full transparency, I picked that up at a conference when I was with the Boys and Girls Clubs about 20 years ago.
Okay.
Before I was a CEO, and the speaker was talking about, you can be a CEO in anything in your life, whether you're a parent, the job you have. I mean, you don't have to have that title to be a Chief Encouragement Officer, and it just stuck with me. And
interesting.
So
it is a you thing. It's not necessarily a Boys and Girls Club.
No, okay. It's a me thing.
Okay.
Although I didn't come up with the actual phrase.
Okay, but you adopted it.
I adopted it.
I dig it.
That's fair.
I dig it. Okay. And I guess why I even have, because in my notes I always generate questions, and what does that mean to you, Chief Encouragement Officer as opposed to Executive Officer?
Humility, be humble, right?
Okay.
I think, while I, have a lot of responsibility and a lot of ability to make things happen, nothing that we do happens without the staff at our clubs.
Sure.
The mentorship that they provide, the encouragement that they provide to the kids. So if I can put that out culturally in the organization, I want the staff to see themselves as CEOs.
I dig it. But again, you are the chief. So as Chief Encouragement Officer, would you call yourself the chief cheerleader?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And I see that as my role, especially when I go into our clubs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have high expectations and things, but
sure.
I try to go in and, we have people that manage and correct and do those things. That's not my role when I go in there. My role is to be the cheerleader, to thank them, to encourage them, and, put that out there and create a good culture around that.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll unpack that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, you're not from New Mexico.
Not from New Mexico.
Where are you from originally?
Well, originally I was born in Maryland, grew up on the East Coast.
D.C. area?
Ohio.
Oh.
Ohio, North Carolina, back to Ohio. Graduated from high school in Cincinnati.
You're from Maryland, Ohio?
Maryland, the state. I was born in Maryland.
Okay, got it.
Quickly moved to Ohio.
To
North Carolina.
Got it.
Graduated high school in Cincinnati, Ohio. But my dad was a...
Wow, you bounced around.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was in the Parks and Rec business, so he got director jobs in different communities. And so we traveled around.
Was that a Fed job?
It's local government.
Government, got it.
Albuquerque has director of Parks and Recreation.
City of.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, so my dad's from State College and went to Penn State, and that was all. As we bounced around the East Coast, that was always kind of home. So
really?
I always wanted to go there. And I was fortunate to go there and have my undergrad there, but I never really found my purpose while I was at Penn State. Unfortunately, I mean, there was a lot of resources and things available to me, but I just couldn't dial in on exactly what I wanted to do. So shortly after I graduated, my parents had moved to Tacoma, where my dad finished his career, and I decided to go to grad school. I wanted to get into college athletics, be an athletic director, and get into that world. So I went to Seattle Pacific.
I saw that.
And
You got a degree in sports and exercise leadership.
Yep.
Okay.
And was trying to break into the college athletic.
Like you wanted to be an administrator,
administrator.
NAD.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Okay.
And funny thing happened while I was in grad school. I got a part-time job at the Boys and Girls Clubs in Tacoma.
Okay.
And working in the athletic department, relative experience, right? And
so you did work in athletic department?
For the Boys and Girls Club.
Oh.
Yeah, so we were running.
They have an athletic
Yeah, so
club?
we were running a bunch of sports and competitive and recreational sports leagues. And as I was there, I just realized, hey, this is a pretty amazing program. It's not just about sports and recreation, even though I love that about sports and the character development aspect of it, building team, being part of a team, all of that was really valuable. I started to see the Boys and Girls Club, the Youth of the Year program, the impact that it had on these kids. And I was like, man, this is, maybe I can have more impact here than, going to a college athletic department and getting
at Penn State, for example.
Right. And one of the things that, I realized really quickly about college athletics, and, you and I talk about this all the time, it very much is win at all costs.
Yeah.
And it's about money. And that's okay.
Especially today.
Yeah, and that's okay. But that really wasn't what I was trying to get into it for. You know what I mean?
Interesting. So is it fair to say that was a bit of a turnoff for you?
A little bit.
As you got into,
I did a little internship. I guess you could call it an internship with the basketball program at Seattle U, and got a little taste of it.
Okay.
And just didn't.
And this was well before.
Oh yeah, this is 25 years ago.
Day and age of NIL. So
Yeah.
You would really not like it now.
Yeah, but I mean, it was more about my experience at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
And what I felt like I really truly started to believe, hey, the Boys and Girls Club can be a solution to a lot of the problems, all the stuff that I liked about college sports around character development and being part of a team.
Right.
We can do that at the Boys and Girls Club and potentially, have more impact with kids who need it the most, things like that. And, so I got a couple promotions in Tacoma and decided, hey, I'd like to, get a CEO role and take a lot of stuff that I've learned and applied for a lot of different jobs across the country and only got one, Lawrence, Kansas, home of the Jayhawks. And, it was a huge move for us. My wife was from Washington. My kids were born there, and, they never really.
And again, you had followed your folks to the Seattle area.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hold on, Colby. In a matter of less than 8 minutes, you have blazed through your entire upbringing and career.
Yeah. Well, to get to your point or your question, how I ended up in Albuquerque, we were in Lawrence for 7 years, did some great things. But Lawrence, Kansas is a college town. I would argue most of the kids that were coming to the club, we were serving a bunch of kids, had 15 sites there. They were going to be okay without the Boys and Girls Club or not, for the most part. Right?
In Lawrence.
Yeah, it's a college town, relatively, affluent compared to Albuquerque. And when the Albuquerque job came up, I was like, man, this is interesting. The club's really small. It's a really it's a metro area. What's going on here? Why doesn't Albuquerque have a huge Boys and Girls Club? Why aren't they serving a bunch of kids? Maybe this can be, an opportunity to go somewhere with, like I was in Tacoma and high need community. And
was Tacoma a high need community?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Whereas Lawrence, a little bit more of a country club.
A little bit. College town.
Okay.
You've experienced those before.
Sure.
So
probably not unlike Boulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably not as affluent, but so that really appealed to me. To have an opportunity to come here, grow the club, and really help address some of the issues that now being here 6 years, people are frustrated about crime.
Sure.
Crime, drugs, education. My my case statement really is, hey man, if we can grow the Boys and Girls Club and serve more kids here in this community, maybe we can play a part.
I love
in
it.
solving some of these issues.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, so so you're continuing to blaze through your life and career. So I'm gonna back you up. I'm gonna back you up. So you follow your dad around. Penn State was always a destination for you, just because of family legacy. But you said something really interesting, which is you didn't really find yourself there.
Yeah.
I guess it took your experience at Boys and Girls Club in Washington to really find yourself. Why were you adrift at Penn State?
I've thought about that a lot. I think mentally, I was just maybe a little immature.
Okay.
Yeah. Our brains aren't fully formed until 25, right?
Yeah. Unlike females, they tend to advance quicker than us.
Well, that was my case for sure.
Okay.
And
is it
while I loved my time there, right? I made a great group of friends and had great experiences
that you continue to play golf with to this day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's special.
Okay.
But
you got your degree
as far as finding my purpose and dialing in on a career, and I'm not unique in this situation as far as an undergrad.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, I got a degree in American Studies at Penn State.
Okay.
And I was kind of just resolved to, hey, I've got to graduate, and then I got to dial in on something, and that may be grad school.
Okay.
We'll see what it looks like.
Why'd you major in American? Well, first of all, what is American Studies, and why did you major in that?
It's just it's a sociology degree. It's a liberal arts degree that kind of studies culture and history and what's going on here in our country. So that did give me a little bit of a foundation and understanding of our society and the different cultures that we deal with and the different political views and things like that.
Okay, so that's helpful.
So I had that foundation as I went into the Boys and Girls Club, and
Now, when you graduated, did you immediately relocate to the Seattle-Tacoma area?
Actually, I went down to Hilton Head Island and worked in the golf industry for a year and a half. And played around with that. Yeah. Maybe I want to
goofing off, half finding yourself.
Yeah. Maybe I want to be a golf pro.
Okay.
Or work at a golf facility.
Okay.
And tried that out and realized, hey, I just really like playing golf. I don't really like.
You didn't want a career in golf. Yeah. I get it.
So that was valuable too.
Okay. Well, it is. I mean, sometimes trying things and deciding, nope, that's not for me. That's actually really valuable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I just said, all right, now it's time to get serious.
And that's when grad school got on your radar. Okay. And then it just made sense. Your folks were in the Seattle-Tacoma area. It just made sense to go there. Yeah. Did you go full-time when you got your master's?
With the Boys and Girls Club?
No. At Seattle Pacific University.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And so it took me a year and a half, 2 years, I think.
Got it. So you didn't do Boys and Girls Club concurrently?
It was part-time.
Oh, you did initially start.
I was doing the grad school thing and working part-time.
How did Boys and Girls Club pop on your radar?
Well, my dad, being in the recreation business, had relationships with the club in Tacoma, and I applied for a job there and got it, and the rest is history.
Okay.
It was, do nothing about the Boys and Girls Club.
No, I get it.
But it was the athletic department, and it was sports, and it's like, let me get a taste of this as I'm in grad school and see what it's like.
Give me the mission of Boys and Girls Club.
To enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens.
Got it. I feel like you've said that a few times.
Oh yeah. And I think looking at it, the key statement there is those who need us most, right?
Okay.
And like I talked about earlier, is one of my key motivators for coming to Albuquerque.
Okay. And you spent So in all your stops so your entire career has been in the Boys and Girls Club.
Yep.
And your stops have been relatively lengthy. So 10 years in the Seattle-Tacoma area, almost 8 years in Lawrence, Kansas, and then you're coming up on 6 years here in Albuquerque. So let's start with the first stint in Seattle-Tacoma. I mean, spending a full decade. So you sort of grew up, if you will, professionally.
Absolutely.
Within that organization. And then you said before that, being a leader was something that you really aspired to.
Yeah.
Tell me about that transition. Starting off as a part-time, presumably like an intern or something like that, and then over time, and you were solely focused on the athletic side?
Yeah, and then shortly after that, I got a promotion to manage a few of the sites. And it was the holistic program around sports, character development, healthy lifestyles, things like that.
Got it.
And, I learned that, first of all, I had to learn the organization. I had to learn, the mission. I had to understand critical things like, case statements and writing grants and developing outcomes.
Got it.
And did a lot of trainings and conferences and things around program development.
Okay.
And so that was huge.
Okay. Would you say you really cut your teeth at that Boys and Girls Club of South Puget Sound?
On half of what I do as the CEO, yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Explain to me half. Why only half?
So in my role, we got to have two things. My role as the CEO, we got to have good programs, and we got to raise money.
Okay, so you were doing the programming side when you were at Puget Sound. Got it.
But you can't raise money if you don't have good programs.
It's sort of a chicken and egg sort of thing.
And you can't have good programs if you don't have
any money. Got it.
So the South Puget Sound experience gave me that program side.
Got it. But you hadn't yet been exposed to the fundraising side of things.
And that's honestly why it was very difficult for me to get a CEO job.
Because you'd lacked that experience in the fundraising side.
I mean,
how'd you overcome that?
I interviewed 7 or 8 times.
Okay.
And I learned, and I took the feedback, and I kept saying to myself, look, I'm not going to be able to, tell people I have experience I don't have, but somebody is going to give me a chance.
Got it.
Because of my passion.
Got it.
My dedication to the mission and my general understanding of how it works.
Got it.
But the reality is, boards want CEOs that have experience.
Have been there, done that.
Working with boards.
I get it.
Fundraising. Working with donors. So I just needed somebody to give me a chance to do those things.
And that was Boys and Girls Club of Lawrence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so they took a chance on you.
They took a chance on me.
Okay. And you were there for almost 8 years. So did you then cut your teeth on the other half?
Absolutely.
And by
that
the way,
was
you were
a huge learning curve.
You're according to LinkedIn, your title was executive director. Is that basically CEO?
Yeah.
Okay. They're one and the same.
Thing.
Okay. Talk to me about so you walked in very experienced on the programmatic side, very inexperienced on the fundraising side. How'd you tackle the fundraising side to gain that experience?
Honestly,
just start doing it?
Yeah, just start doing it. I mean, you can't simulate sitting in that chair unless you've had the job before.
Yep.
Like you have to. The only way to get that experience is to do it.
Okay.
And so, I made a lot of mistakes, but in general, I found it quite comfortable because what I was talking about, I knew, and I was passionate about, and people, I think generally picked up on that, right?
Yeah, if you're passionate, that's going to resonate with donors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And knowing my stuff as far as what the programs were, what the outcomes were, what we were trying to accomplish from a community impact standpoint, I think, people generally, that makes sense.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier, so you spent 8 years in Lawrence, and I guess let's just say, getting very experienced on the fundraising side, shoring up what you lacked when you left Washington. But you mentioned earlier that, and these are my words, I'm sort of paraphrasing here, but the impact wasn't quite there, like what you'd seen back in Washington. And so you were...
Well, I would say the impact was amazing. I mean, we grew the program to, we had a site.
Right, maybe I misspoke there.
Yeah, it
By
wasn't
impact,
the impact. It was
the need wasn't nearly as acute as what you had seen before.
Yeah.
Got it.
And there was a similar need that we identified in Lawrence that is huge here as well, and that's middle school, high school.
Okay.
And a lot of people think...
Specifically after school, before and after school?
Before and after school.
Program.
A lot of people think, hey, the Boys and Girls Clubs is for little kids, right? It's that place they go for after-school daycare and supervision because they can't go home alone.
Just somewhere to park the kids.
Yes,
yeah.
And that is true.
Okay.
But we're so much more than that from a youth development standpoint. We have programs that focus on healthy lifestyles, character building, sports and fitness, academic success.
Okay.
And, what was happening is kids would, we were in all the elementary schools, but
you're talking back in Lawrence?
Back in Lawrence. We were in all the elementary schools, 14 schools. We grew the program to that. And then they'd leave the club after 5th grade and, they were gone. And
which is unfortunate because that's the formative years.
Right.
Yeah.
So we did a capital campaign. Had a partnership with
back to the fundraising.
Yep. Built a teen center in partnership with the school district there and created a place where all those kids after 5th grade could come and, have all the state-of-the-art opportunities, whether it's technology, the gym, arts and crafts, workforce development. There was a huge career readiness center in that teen center. And so obviously that took time to grow the elementary program, raise the money for the campaign, build the facility. And then, we had the teen center, we had our 14 sites. I kind of felt like, all right, my work
mission accomplished.
My work here is done.
Okay. And so you went out, and I want to talk about what you're doing here in Albuquerque now. But let's get there by talking about what motivated you to leave Lawrence. So again, you felt mission accomplished. I've done what I need to do. I've developed this new skill set that's very critical, which is fundraising. So then you actively were pursuing another leadership role within the Boys and Girls Club. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I was a little more dialed in this time. First time I was taking any CEO job that a board was willing to give me.
Got it.
This time I was looking for the right place. I didn't want to go to a metro area that already had a huge club that I was just
You wanted something to build?
Yes.
Okay. And that was Albuquerque?
Yep.
Got it. And so I guess how did that opportunity get on your radar?
I had a contact at Boys and Girls Clubs of America that was kind of saying, hey, there's going to be this opportunity, and think you should take a look at it. And so interviewed with the board here. It was a pretty lengthy process. And, again, they, I think one of the things that, was a challenge for me to overcome is that I wasn't from New Mexico.
So I guess... talk to me about that. So you had no exposure to New Mexico prior to...
I had visited here once for a conference.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And this was, by the way, again, according to LinkedIn, this was 2019. So this wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So the board of the Boys and Girls Club of Central New Mexico ran a process for a new CEO, and you tossed your hat in the ring. And the biggest criticism was just, well, this is an outsider not from here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think honestly, this is sometimes a mistake that boards make. They don't value club experience over Boys and Girls. They don't value Boys and Girls Club experience over knowing the community, having contacts, having growing up. And
well, first of all, why is that?
I don't know.
Why do they place an emphasis on local history
versus their concept is, well, the CEO can hire somebody to run the operations in the program, right? And the CEO's main job is to work with the board, build relationships in the community, raise money.
Okay. And if you're not from here, their argument is that makes it challenging.
Right.
How'd you overcome that and convince the board to?
Well, I did it in Lawrence.
Okay.
Right. That was the same.
Somebody, an organization took a chance on you.
Right.
And you think it's fair to say the Albuquerque organization took a chance?
I had a track record that I could show them. Hey, I've done this. We grew this. We raised this. And everybody, all communities are unique, but the Boys and Girls Club process is the same.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You got to have the programs. You got to show the outcomes. You got to build the relationships. You got to make your case. And, while there's I've learned a ton here politically, as far
you
as
kind of have to in your
relations,
job.
it's very different, but it's the same process.
What was your impression of the community when you arrived? So again, having no experience.
Well, first of all, I loved the community, the diversity, the culture is something that I hadn't experienced before. So that was amazing. In general, everybody here wants to help kids. They understand the need. They understand the value of an organization like the Boys and Girls Clubs. And there was a lot of history here. The club wasn't necessarily big as far as number of sites and things.
How long has Boys and Girls Club of Central New Mexico been in existence?
Since 1960.
1960.
Yeah.
Got it.
So I run into people here all the time. Hey, I grew up at the Old Town Club. Hey, I went to the Heights Club. So those two clubs have a lot of history here.
Is that what merged to become Boys and Girls of Central New Mexico?
That was the same organization here. We had two clubs. Then they built a club out in Rio Rancho that we don't own anymore. But Central New Mexico, really, you hear a lot about the Old Town Club and the Heights Club. And kids going there to play basketball and pool and things like that.
Yeah.
And we are going to get back to that kind of place-centered
so let's touch on that. I mean, I want to get into what was the club like when you got here. What is it like today? Where do you want to see it go? And I'll start off with an experience I had. So full disclosure, I'm a financial contributor to Boys and Girls Club of Central New Mexico, just because I love your guys' mission. Now that being said, as a responsible donor, I want to do my due diligence just to make sure that this is a great organization to support, because I didn't personally experience it as a child. And so one of the references you guys gave me was Mayor Tim Keller here in Albuquerque. And so I had a phone call with Tim Keller, and by the way, he spoke very highly of you guys, but he shared an interesting story that actually he was sharing it to me because he was impressed by it. And what he was impressed by was you, and I think Fred Slow walked into his office and basically said, the Boys and Girls Club of Central New Mexico is dying, and we want to change that.
Well, yeah, that was 2019.
Okay.
And that was before Fred joined us. And
okay, so maybe Fred wasn't with you when you walked in.
I just went in there with an idea.
Okay.
Because what I learned in Lawrence, Kansas is the Boys and Girls Club works best if we don't own buildings.
Really?
We don't want that.
Okay.
That maintenance burden, that upkeep burden, because that's not what we're good at, right?
Right.
We don't defer maintenance. We don't have an account to pull from when the roof. So both facilities, the Rio Rancho.
Ideally, you have a partner.
When I got here, the facility on Truman Street, the facility in Rio Rancho, they were in horrible condition.
Okay. And so that's what you stepped into.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now, there was a good foundation, good board, good history, good feelings generally about the club and the community, but our facilities were in bad shape.
Okay.
And that was primarily because, we spend all our money on staff and running programs, and there's just not enough.
Not on building upkeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I went to the mayor and said, hey, we'll give you this building. Help me.
Oh, really? So this was a building you owned?
Yeah.
Presumably with some deferred
over
maintenance.
on Truman Street.
Okay.
Help me get some. I'll go raise the capital funds, from capital outlay at the because I quickly learned about that opportunity, and there's a lot of resources there at the state level, but a nonprofit can't get it because they have to have a fiscal agent.
Yep.
And
Understood.
the building has to be owned by a government agency. So I'll give you the building. We'll work together to get capital outlay, fix it up, and then let me run the program out of that building.
Okay.
At no cost for the value of the building, right? And, And he immediately.
And the mayor said what? No problem?
He said,
Let's do it?
Let's do it.
Fantastic.
And that's the model.
Okay.
Right? When we did it in Lawrence, we raised all the money, built the building, transferred ownership to the school district.
Right.
Because then they could use it during the day as educational opportunity.
Okay.
Because that's the other thing about Boys and Girls Club owning facilities. It's empty till 3 p.m.
Yeah. Sort of
an
underutilized asset.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's why my whole thing is government partnerships, right?
Got it.
So the elementary school programs that we have, school during the day, Boys and Girls Club after school.
That's awesome. And that was is it fair to say that was a concept that you brought with you from Lawrence?
Yeah, that's what I learned at Lawrence.
Introduced
this is
here. Okay.
Like the elementary kids, you're going to serve more kids by being on site at the school.
Yeah.
Because parents don't want their kids walking to a Boys and Girls Club. They don't want to have to worry about how they're going to get there. They drop them off in the morning, pick them up after work, know that they were at the club getting homework done, getting food, getting
some
mentorship.
exercise. Yeah.
So they're going to sign up for that all day long versus going to the Boys and Girls Club location that's not maybe as close.
Yeah. Okay. But you do a little bit of both.
Right.
So in other words.
But the teens are different.
Okay.
Because those middle schoolers and high schoolers, they don't necessarily want to stay at school all day.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So they want their place.
So that's where your center comes into play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're super excited about this, and
and
I've
toured
very
it.
grateful to the city for.
This is the one on Truman, correct?
Yeah.
The one that I've toured.
Yeah.
Okay. That's presumably still under construction.
Presumably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting close to getting that finished. I think this fall, October, we're hoping to launch those. And again, thank you for supporting our efforts.
No, I mean thank you. How many of those kind of centers? So you sort of have dual. Is it fair to say dual programming? So you have programming for the younger kids that goes into their schools, and then you have centers which are separate from the school.
Yeah.
Where
For
the older kids,
Yeah.
can congregate. How many of those do you?
One of our strategies while so that building on Truman's been closed for 4 years. That's how long it's taken to get this done.
Okay.
So our strategy was, while we're closed, we're going to go out into the middle school and high schools and serve kids there. We know it's not ideal,
but we're going to do it anyway.
But we need to serve kids.
Okay.
And currently we're at 12 middle schools.
Okay.
And Highland High School, which actually has its own little kind of teen center behind it. It's a separate building. So that works really well.
Okay.
But my vision is grow the elementary programs, serve those kids there in the schools, and then let's get this teen center open.
Yep.
Let's show amazing results. Let's show great outcomes. And
so once it's
I know
open,
it's not going to be able to serve the whole city.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's just not big enough.
It's not big enough, and it's too far from so many places. So this could be a pilot project that could be duplicated in several different neighborhoods across the city.
So once it's open, it would then be your one and only center that
we
you
may
would use as a model.
Depending on funding and what we can do, I'd like to see us continue at Highland. But that facility needs a lot of work, and we need the school district to invest in some space there. But yeah, I think elementary schools, at the schools, create these teen centers because kids want that place.
Yeah,
these
sure.
teens,
Yeah.
they want a place that they can go. It's a sense of belonging, right?
Yeah, I get it.
So when I talk about the need of middle schoolers and high schoolers, many of them have that, right? You know, they're good athletes. They have sports after school. They're in the band. They have, you know, dance and piano.
Yeah,
and
but not
things
everybody.
But not everybody.
Right.
So you see those kids, if you go out and stand, you know, and watch a middle school release after school, you just see the flood of kids walking.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, where are they going?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I get it.
You know, group of them, you know, maybe going somewhere where they're not supervised. You know, one kid's going home to be on his phone and play video games. There's just tremendous opportunity for them to go to a place that they want to go to.
Okay.
Because we have cool, interesting spaces and places, and they're going to have friends there, and they're going to feel like they belong to the club.
How do you, so you said you're in 12 middle schools and 1 high school. Obviously, that doesn't cover all of APS. How do you decide on which schools to go into?
We work with APS.
Okay.
And you, right now, it's different
so it's kind of a
grants.
joint decision, if you will.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. They're great partners, and they facilitate some of that work to say, hey, we'd really like to see the club at this middle school. But ultimately, we have to find the funding and get the grants to do that.
Okay.
And like I said, fortunately, there's a lot of support at all levels of government here in New Mexico and there's also alignment on this middle school, high school age group. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind of the group that we need to support because
those are kids' formative years.
That's the time when schools lose them.
Yep.
And you know,
if you're going to go off the rails, that's when you're going to do it.
Then we end up with some of the stuff that we see and hear about here in the community.
Talk to me about programming specifically. What kinds of things do you guys do?
Yeah. Well. So one of I'll specifically dial in on the teens. It's really about giving them a combination of what we know they need, right? Academic support, homework help, tutoring, mentoring, but also asking them what they want, right?
Okay.
Whether it's performing arts, a DJ class, a mural class, whether it's sports, we do some soccer and basketball, whether it's culinary arts. We have a cooking program at 4 of our middle schools right now.
That's cool.
And we've got chefs from the community that we've contracted in to come and teach these kids how to create. And that's the other thing about middle school and high school. They'll come to the club for food. You know what I mean?
I love that.
They're hungry after school.
Let's bribe them with snacks.
Yeah, but let's teach they get into the cooking because they're hungry.
Yeah.
And they want to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they learn that there's so much ancillary learning in that, whether it's math and measurement and science and things like that there's value in them understanding that and learning those things.
Yeah. So I was going to ask. So you were sort of rattling off potential programs, and one.
We have another program that has great. It's a Boys and Girls Club of America program. It's called Smart Moves.
Okay.
And it's all about healthy decision making, positive self-image, and really teaching kids resistance skills.
Okay.
And great lessons, great, interesting, cool activities around getting kids to, resist those things that are so prevalent.
So the temptation drugs, around vices.
Yeah, drugs, alcohol, sexual activity, all of these things are part of this program. And we have great data that shows, once they've gone through this 12-week session with us and they have better understanding.
12-week session around resistance.
It's once a week.
Okay.
Right? It's just a program that happens once a week.
Okay.
And
get more specific. What are you doing in this program, this resist program?
Well, I'd have to go and look at the the actual lessons. I do have some of that, but it's really just about, it starts with self-confidence.
Okay.
Right? And how to build
some
that.
Sort of exercise around that? Okay.
Yeah. So your vision statement, where do you want to be? Who do you want to be?
Oh, I love that.
Things like that.
Okay.
And from there, you build on that, right? Well, you went back, well, let's go back to your vision statement, right? Is this decision in line with that?
And who's leading that? Are these external folks that you contract with?
These are our part-time Boys and Girls Club staff.
Okay.
So we will bring in experts in the community on certain things like culinary or basketball or things, but we train our everyday part-time staff to implement programs like Smart Moves
Got it.
And then there's another program at the elementary level called Power Hour, and that's all around homework help and tutoring.
Okay.
And there's a whole playbook on how to incentivize kids to get their homework done and to, increase their grade and things like that.
Okay.
But those are core programs that we want all of our part-time staff, our program directors to understand and be able to implement.
Got it. And so, I guess you've talked a little bit about your vision, which is more centers, getting into more schools, so on and so forth. And I guess go back to the original statement, and again tied back in with the statement that the mayor shared with me. Is it fair to say the last 6 years have been maybe turnaround is a little too strong, but certainly a major shift in the strategy and tactics of the Boys and Girls Club?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first 2 years were COVID, so
that was pretty rough.
A downturn there, but we survived that. We served a lot less kids, but we kept one of the things that I was really proud of was we figured out a way to keep our 2 facilities open. And
you did?
Yeah. And we couldn't, we had our spacing and masks and things, but kids would come in and our staff would help them attend school virtually. So school was virtual whole year and a half, right? But there were some kids that, their parents had to go to work,
They needed some supervision to do
They needed some supervision.
And that's where the Boys and Girls Club stepped in.
So we were able to, and, without the club, I highly doubt those kids would have been successful that year and a half, continuing, making the grades and continuing on with that virtual school because that was hard.
Yeah. Talking about community impact, so over the 6 years that you've been here, how have you seen kind of the evolution of your community impact here in Albuquerque?
Well, I think we haven't had the big picture impact yet that we're looking for, right?
Okay.
I think, there's still all the data out there that says we're last in education and there's issues with youth mental health and those things. What we have done is we've created the foundation to serve more kids, right?
Got it.
We were, I think, in our size of Boys and Girls Club in 2019, we were like number 54 in average daily attendance. And in
of Boys and Girls Clubs around the United States?
Yeah.
Okay.
And in 2023, we were number 2.
Really?
Yeah.
In terms of number of pupils?
That come to the club every day, an average.
Whoa, that's an impressive KPI.
Yeah. And that's the one we look at all the time.
Okay.
And you take COVID out like 2022 to now, I mean, that's huge, right?
That is
We've
huge.
had that growth.
Okay.
Now we need to continue that growth and we need to really look at impact. And one of the things that I've also kind of taken on that I'm really excited about is collaborative work with other nonprofits. So we have a coalition, the YMCA, Warehouse 505, which is a performing arts for teens. Junior Achievement, Financial Literacy, Big Brothers, Big Sisters, which is similar to us, but they do one-on-one mentoring with youth.
Right.
And Explora.
Okay.
And so we've all kind of come together.
And you're collaborating on programming?
Collaborating on programming. And more importantly, we're not competing against each other. We're not trying to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And so we've come together to say, hey, let's stop competing. Let's focus on each of our roles and our expertise in certain areas, and let's help each other increase the amount of kids we serve in each of those expertise areas. And one of the things that I think will come out of this is, and we're going through a process over the next couple months.
I was going to say, this sounds like something that's happening in real time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to develop a set of measurements across, because we all can have our own kind of thing that we measure to say, here's what we're doing, and here's how we know it works.
Yeah.
But what's that one data point that if we can collect it from all the kids we serve and all the collaborative efforts that we have, that's showing impact and showing we're making a difference?
Well, in some respects, it's that annual child welfare ranking, right?
Yeah.
So let's next year we're 49.
Yeah.
After that we're 48, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and even, ultimately at the end of the day, it's graduating high school with a plan.
Yeah.
Right.
Plan and a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our, from the Boys and Girls Club standpoint, that's our end game, right?
I love that. Okay.
And we're not there yet, obviously, but we're trying to get to a place to say, yep, this is the North Star for all of our organizations.
Okay.
And the other side piece of that is, let's try to change the system a little bit, because traditionally government grants, government funding opportunities roll out the RFP. Our 6 organizations would compete against each other.
You compete for that on that RFP.
Right? Let's put one application
proposal that is collaborative. Okay. Are you seeing that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
So we've had some small wins. City of
Okay.
Albuquerque put us in the budget last year, and they're going to do that again this year. And we've had some success with county commissioners and getting some funding there. But we need an opportunity that is transformational.
Yeah.
I'm talking like $10 million.
Yeah, I get it.
Over a certain amount of years, to somebody to invest in our coalition to say, yep, we want to see you do this work.
Okay.
And we're not there yet because we don't have the case statement kind of fully developed yet. But I mean,
that's what you're driving towards.
Yeah.
Because that's fantastic.
A couple $100,000 here, there, $1 million, it's not going to do it.
Well, but I imagine that's helpful.
It's helpful.
Keeps the lights on.
It does, but it's not transformational, and that's what this community needs.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that between our 7 organizations, we have the expertise and the different areas of need that if we really did this right, we could change the game.
Okay.
And really make a difference the way people want to see it done.
Yeah.
Here in Albuquerque.
I love it, Colby. I love your, I love your passion and I love your plan. My final question is this: you've spent your entire career in one organization, Boys and Girls Club just Boys and Girls Club of, several different ofs. What, appeal to some youth that maybe are thinking about a similar kind of career? What, sell it for me. Because it can't be the money.
No, it's not the money.
It's got to be the mission, I assume.
I would say that there is nothing more rewarding than, what you experienced at our event. Those kids that come up and speak and recite poems. Our Youth of the Year kids that talk about, they name staff members that have had an impact on their life.
Those were some impressive kiddos.
Yeah. And to have that impact is pretty special.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I would encourage, any young person who's thinking about teaching, coaching, put Boys and Girls Club right up there with those, two careers. And those two careers aren't very lucrative either. Mm-hmm. We're very competitive in those areas. And, it's an amazing, fun job where you can come to work every day and change lives.
And literally see it right before your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Literally every day.
Every day.
Go home and think to yourself on the drive home.
Yeah.
Like, I helped so-and-so.
And our industry needs great people.
Yeah.
And if you come in with passion and dedication and hard work and intelligence, you'll move up fast.
Okay.
I mean, look at what happened to me. I knew nothing about it. I came with those three things, and here I am.
And look at you today. You're the Chief Encouragement Officer of Boys and Girls Club.
And I've had the opportunity to live in Lawrence, Kansas, to come to this beautiful place. That's the one thing that I would advise young people coming into Boys and Girls Club too. And I talk about this with our staff, and this was really big in Lawrence, Kansas, because everybody just wanted to stay there. Mm-hmm. If you want to grow here, you got to be willing to move. And we
go expand your skill set by going over to this org or that org. Okay.
I mean, if you want to be the CEO, that job is filled right now.
Yeah.
But I will help you. I mean, I've got 4 or 5 former staff from Lawrence that are CEOs of Boys and Girls Clubs.
Oh, fantastic.
But they had to move.
Okay.
And
would you say that there are several staff members currently here that aspire?
Absolutely. Well, I don't know if they aspire currently.
Okay.
But they have the potential.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, Colby, New Mexico's lucky to have you. I'm glad you're here.
We're lucky to have you too, so I appreciate everything.
It's all about your mission. It's not about me. It's about your mission. It's about the impact you're having on
no money,
kids
no mission. Doug.
I understand. But again, I said this before. It's easy to write checks when you have the money. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you want to direct it towards good causes, and you guys are.
We're going to work hard.
Couldn't be a better cause.
Give you an ROI on that, man. We're going to work hard.
Yeah, okay. Well, Colby, thank you for joining me here on Leaders of Enchantment podcast.
Thank you.
Awesome.